Hi everyone, welcome back to Health Group. This week we are making our safety reminder flyer. And I hope that this is a nice thing that you can refer back to as you start to get ready to come back to school so that we can keep ourselves safe and healthy. So the first thing we're going to do is look at our schedule. Today we are going to gather our materials. We're going to cut. We'll make our safety flyer. We'll review it and then we will say goodbye. The first thing we need to do is gather all of our materials. So you will need your pictures to cut out, your flyer to glue things on, some glue, and scissors. Once you have all of your materials, it's time to cut. Cutting is all done. Now it's time to make our flyer. To make our flyer, you need your cutout images and then the flyer that we're gonna glue things on. So let's fill this out together. And our first blank spot says, stay blank away from my classmates. Right now, it's really important to try and stay 6 feet away from our classmates. If you can also stay that far away from your teachers too, that's a good idea. So in the first box, you're gonna find 6 feet and glue it down. Our next blank says, wear a blank that covers my nose and mouth. Right now, when you can, it's also really important to try and practice wearing our mask. When we go back to school, all of your teachers will be wearing their masks and they can definitely help you practice wearing yours. And our last two blanks up top say, wash my hands often with blank and water, or blank if there is no sink. Wash my hands often with soap and water is the first one. If we're not using soap, then we're not killing the germs, so we have to use the soap. Or we can use hand sanitizer if we're not near a sink. Once you get to a sink, it's important to wash your hands with soap and water. Now let's move on to our bottom section that says, I need to wash my hands, and then we're gonna fill in the blanks with good times that we should remember to wash our hands. One good time to wash our hands is after we play outside, because we tend to get really dirty out there. Another super important time is after I use the bathroom. Anytime we go to the bathroom, we want to make sure that we wash our hands with soap and water. Another good time is after going to a store. So right now, if you do go out into the community, it's really important to wash your hands as soon as you get home and use hand sanitizer right before you get into the car. We also want to make sure that we're washing our hands before we eat every time, because if we have germs on our hands and then we touch our food and put it in our mouth, that's how we get sick. And our last one is going to be if I cough or sneeze. So remember to try and cough or sneeze into your elbow or use a tissue, but no matter what, we want to wash our hands after we cough or sneeze to make sure we get rid of all of those germs. Now that our flyer is all done, let's do a little review. So hold on to your flyer and refer back to this as much as you can so that we can try and remember all the ways we can keep ourselves nice and healthy when we go back to school. We want to remember to stay 6 feet away from our classmates when possible. If we can, we want to try and wear our mask and remember that your teachers will be wearing masks when you go back to school. And we're going to be washing our hands as much as possible with soap and water. And if we don't have a sink readily available, we're going to be using hand sanitizer. We might be washing our hands more often than we're used to, but that's because we want to keep you nice and healthy. We want to remember to wash our hands after we play outside, after we go to the bathroom, whenever we go to a store or out in the community, before we eat, and if we cough or sneeze. Even if we do it into our elbow, we want to make sure we wash our hands after. I hope everyone finds this flyer to be nice and helpful. Group is all done. Goodbye.